What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to be doing a bit of a deeper dive into the city of Centennial, breaking down some of your everyday living expenses and costs so you can have a better understanding of what life might look like if you're considering a move within the city or a relocation to Centennial. And I'm going to unpack all of that coming up next. Welcome. If this is your first time to my channel, my name is Bill Knapp. I'm a residential realtor here in the Denver metro area, and I produce these videos to help provide context if you're doing a move within the city or relocating into the Denver area, so you have a better understanding, idea of kind of what life is like as you come to this location. If you have questions about anything I'm doing at all, leave them in the comments below. Also, I am a licensed realtor. Would love to see if we could possibly work together. So like, comment, and subscribe. All my contact information and phone number are listed, and we'll see if we can get something pulled together. If you haven't caught my video, the pros and cons of living in Centennial, Colorado, definitely go check that out. It has some really good supplemental information that goes with this video. And if you're looking for a visual cue or reference point, the city of Centennial is located almost directly south to southeast of the Denver metro area, creating an excellent, easy commute for anybody that lives in that area. Now, as far as planning purposes, if you are commuting in and out of Centennial to downtown Denver, you can expect about a 20 to 25 minute drive depending on where you're located in the area of Centennial. If you're going to the Denver International Airport, you can plan for about a 25 to 45 minute drive depending on time of day and traffic. And if you live and commute and work into the Denver Tech Center, you're looking at about a 5 to 15 minute commute because the Denver Tech Center is literally located smack dab in the middle of the city of Centennial. Anyway, now that you have your reference situated on where the city of Centennial is located, let's go ahead and jump into some of the costs you can expect to be paying as far as moving into this location. Now, to get us started, I'm going to take a look at the national average of what costs on day-to-day living is like and compare that to the city of Centennial. So using the national average at 100% baseline reference, living in city of Centennial is comparatively shown to be 134% by comparison, which means it's about 34% more to live in the city of Centennial on a day-to-day basis than it is versus the national average. Now, that may sound like a lot, but if you compare that against other adjacent neighborhoods like Highlands Ranch and Lone Tree, the cost of living in the city of Centennial is actually lower. But if you go out to the east like Aurora, it's going to be higher to live in city of Centennial versus Aurora. So it's all very relative depending on what your likes and your hobbies are. So using that 134% average, let's jump into that a bit. I'm going to break down some of those costs so you can have a more of an apples to apples comparison of what it's like in Centennial versus other surrounding areas. So to start us off, I'm guessing the most important item that everybody's curious about is the cost of living for purchasing a home, or what the home values are like in the city of Centennial. So if I were to break down the three primary types of properties in Centennial, the first being single family homes, at the time of filming this video, the average purchase price for a single family home in Centennial is $683,000. Now, not everybody wants a home. Some people are more into townhomes and condos. So to get into a townhome, you can expect your purchase price on average to be about $510,000, and condos are running a little bit less than that at $375,000. Now, with those purchases, if you're curious about your return on investment as far as what the actual appreciation might look like, it's been really, really solid in Centennial for the past several years, and actually Colorado as a whole, in part because of the pandemic, and also in part because we have a lot of people moving here. The low interest rates and the low inventory has driven appreciation through the roof in the Centennial area. As of right now, we're sitting on about 15.3% appreciation year over year, which is not typical and not expected to continue into the future because that is really just not sustainable. On an average historical rating, the city of Centennial can see appreciation in the range of about 4.5% to 6.5%, which is what I would encourage you to use in your metrics when considering a move into this area. That's going to give you a better idea of your return on investment. Now, purchasing a property in Colorado has a nice little benny if you're coming from out of state, because our property property taxes are remarkably low. Right now they are at 0.51%, which is on the lower half of most of the continental United States. So if you were to translate that into the average purchase price in Centennial at 0.51%, you can expect your property taxes to be in the range of about $2,200 to $4,200 per year, which is likely significantly lower than what you're experiencing in the Midwest and the East, and also on the coastal side by California, Oregon, and Washington. Now, another cost to consider after you've purchased a property or when you're looking to purchase in Centennial is to see if that property has an attached homeowners association with it. Now, homeowners associations are really good or really bad depending on the individual association. So doing your due diligence on this part is very important. You want to see what they include and how much it costs, because that cost is going to be in addition to your monthly mortgage payment. Now, not all neighborhoods in Centennial have an HOA. They're actually pocketed in several different locations. There are a lot of suburban neighborhoods that have zero HOA, and those neighborhoods, people love that because they can do basically whatever they would like to do on the front, exterior, back side of their house without a governing HOA body. In my experience, the cost of HOAs varies from each individual complex to each individual neighborhood, and they're independently owned and operated. So on average, you can expect for a condo, townhome, depending on the number of amenities or where it's located, your HOA monthly cost, in addition to your mortgage costs, will probably be in the range of about $175 to $250-ish per month. If you're in a golf course community or something a little bit nicer, those can be done quarterly, semi-annually, or annually. And on average, you can expect those to be in the range of about $800 or so per year to $3,000 per year, which is why I say do your due diligence to make sure you have a very strong understanding of what that looks like, because that impacts your monthly budget. Now, not saying you actually have to purchase when you're considering Centennial. There are plenty of rental opportunities in the community. Based on the recent stats, about 18% of all homes in Centennial are listed as rental properties, which gives you an excellent opportunity to try before you buy. If you're looking at a single family home, you can likely expect to find a 2-bed and 1-bath or a 3-bed, 2-bath rental opportunity, and those rental prices as of right now are anywhere about $2,200 to $3,500 depending on the condition of the home and its location. Now, if you want something more in the lines of like a townhome or condo, those are highly variable depending on where they're located in the city as well. And those start right about $1,750, and I've seen them as high as $3,200 for some of the more luxurious condos and townhomes. Pro tip, a little added benefit of renting in a condo or a townhome, most of those will have a pool or a tennis court, fitness, or a clubhouse. So you have a little added extra benefit to kind of help you get relaxed and moved into the area while you decide if you want to live in Centennial or somewhere nearby. Another cost to consider when moving into the area are the taxes. And Colorado as a state is roughly a flat tax rate state, and it's a 4.55 state tax that you can expect. And in the city of Centennial, we have a combined state and local tax rate, which right now is about 7.7% tax. So put that into your equation when figuring out your spending, your budget, and your cost of living. And finally, last, one of the larger, harder to quantify expenses are your variable costs. And this is your hobbies, your passions, the things that you like to do. That is entirely subjective and up to you, but I have a couple high-level suggestions that I give to everybody. One of the variable costs that are the most common, especially with people moving into Centennial, will be the cost of state parks, federal parks, and ski passes. And these prices are very variable. State park passes on average are about $80 to $100 for an annual pass. Federal park passes are around $80 for the year. And your ski passes are highly variable, depending on which mountain you go to, how many passes you get. In regards to that, I would recommend checking out your local Icon Pass, Snow.com, or Winter Pass, or just check out your favorite mountain to see what the current going rate is for a 4-pack. Keeping with that ski theme, another variable cost is going to be you might be spending more money on outdoor gear. Colorado is an outdoor state. People love doing all things outdoorsy. So if you don't already have a set of good hiking boots or outdoor gear, camping, maybe you just want an excuse to buy that big truck, that might be a variable cost. So there's no way really I can put that into a quantified number for you. These are just things to consider. And finally, two of the final variable costs that I always recommend people look at will be the cost of schools. Centennial has has wonderful, amazing public schools. But if you're more in line with like a private school, you're going to be looking at somewhere in the range of about $12,000 to $14,000 per year for a private school in Centennial. And if you're looking at schools, you likely have kids, or if you yourself are just a working professional that loves food, there are a tremendous amount of restaurants in, around, and all about the Denver metro area, and lots of great ones in Centennial. So a variable cost for you is going to be to figure out how much do you want to spend on eating out versus cooking in. So there you go. That hopefully gives you a high level idea of some of the costs you can expect as far as moving into the city of Centennial, cost of living for purchasing homes, and some of your variables so you can have an idea of what a monthly budget might look like. If I didn't cover a question that you have, or if you have a question about anything I referenced, do me a favor and drop me a comment below, and I'll do my very best to respond to you. Also, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. That way you can get notified each and every time I release a new video. And give me a call directly at the number below if you'd like to set up a coffee or a meeting. I am a licensed realtor in the area, and I'd be happy to see if working together is a good fit. Thanks everybody for sticking around to the end. Again, my name is Bill Knapp, licensed realtor in Denver, Colorado, and I will see you on the next one.